Hey all. All right, we're live. We're trying to technical difficulty our way through audio stuff. So um okay. I will wait. Okay, I see some hop-ons. All right. Okay. So tonight's team call, this week's team's call, I should say, is about a topic that is coming up a lot, especially because right now we are in Team Cup, which is a huge month. Hi, everyone. As you're hopping on, please also share your name because we can't see your name on StreamYard. And this is very, very important to your business. So I really want you guys to listen to this and take it to heart and apply it, okay? We're going to talk about follow-ups today. Now, this business, inviting is a core component of this business, as we know. If you're not inviting people to join your groups, if you're not inviting people to consider the opportunity, then you're going to have a really slow go at growing this business. Will people come to you? Absolutely, but don't depend on that. Be the kind of entrepreneur that takes the initiative, and when you see someone that you can help, or you see someone that has the potential to be amazing at this business, let them know it. Let them know it, okay? But there's 3 parts to inviting, actually. Inviting doesn't stop at sending someone an invitation or posting a post that says, hey, drop me a line if you'd like to participate in XYZ thing, okay? It doesn't stop there. The next part, okay, so the first part is you're going to invite someone. Hey, so-and-so, I love your IG. I love that you're into this. You're so inspiring. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? Or, hey, I don't know if you've seen any of my stories or any of my posts, but I have this upcoming boot camp coming up and I think that you would really enjoy it. Have you seen any material? Would you like me to send me more information? Blah, blah, blah. Those are 2 versions of an invite, okay? The next part is following up with them when you don't hear back right away, or following up with them when you do hear back. And then the final part is enrolling them, getting them a cart, putting the cart in their inbox, in their messenger, the link, and making sure that they follow through with that cart, purchase the bundle they're going to get started with, and put them in your group or put them in your team page and get them started on the training or get them started on their prep week, okay? It's 3 parts. It's inviting, it's following up, it's getting them started. That's actually inviting. It's comprised of 3 different segments, okay? Now, a lot of times we will drop an invitation and then we run from it, okay? So we are going to invite someone and then, they didn't immediately respond to our message. So we're just like, oh, I guess I'm just going to let that go. And I'm not even going to go near that person ever again. And I'm not even going to talk to them because what if I'm bothering them and I don't want to be a pest and I don't want to be. And let me tell you 2 straight. We live in a fast-paced, incredibly busy society. I cannot tell you how many times I've opened a message or opened a text and not answered it. Read it and thought I answered it and answered it in my brain. Or read it and didn't and be like, oh, I'll answer that later and never got back to it. Or XYZ, their kid opened their messenger box and saw the message, but they never got the message. Okay? Happens all the time. All the time. So the very first follow-up I send, if someone does not respond to me, I wait 2 days. When I send an invitation, I follow up and I said, hey, I'm not sure if you even got my previous message. So I'm just checking in. That's my first follow-up, okay? That puts me back on that person's radar and it tells them there's something I sent that you should take a look at before, okay? One of 2 things will happen. Either they go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I thought I answered it. Or, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that message. Thank you for writing to me. And then a conversation starts. Or they don't answer that one either, okay? So just for point of reference, it takes someone 7 to 9 touch points before they're going to talk to you and buy something from you. 7 to 9. It's not always a message. Comments count as well. So I'm going to explain my process with this, with following up. Send the first follow-up. Don't hear back from them. Okay? Send the third follow-up. Hey, so-and-so, don't mean to be a pest, but I sent you this invitation. I want to make sure that you know that I sent it. Okay? I want to make sure that you know that it's there. So if you have a moment, drop me a line. 3rd one. 4th touch point, if I still don't hear back from them, I go on their profile page and I start engaging with their photos and I go through their stories and I start engaging with their stories And when I comment on their photo, I go, oh, I love this, blah, 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 something about the photo. And then I go, P.S. I dropped you a message, sister. Check your inbox. 85% of the time, that gets them in their inbox answering my question. Because they check their comments, but they don't check their inbox. Okay? So you can do this as a third touch point, as a fourth touch point. I just explained it as a fourth, but it doesn't matter. But if you're not getting back from them any engagement, or they're not even seeing your messages, go do that. Works on Instagram, works on Facebook. I've done it. Both ways.
I think it's super important for Instagram because you have your general inbox and then you have your private
Yes,
inbox.
there's two.
I didn't even know that was a thing until recently because I feel like it's a little like message notification to go away, and I'm like, where are the messages? Why can't I find them? I didn't realize they were in your inboxes. So I mean, it's happening to me, and I'm pretty proficient in Instagram. So I mean, I would imagine that like other people can get bogged down.
Yes, good reminder. So do that. Make sure you let them know. Comment on their photo and then go, by the way, dropped you a message, okay? Now, that's if they're ignoring you. Now, I don't drop anybody. Until I get a hell no or a yes, let's talk, I'm going to keep following up with those motherfuckers until I get that, okay? Now, it'll go from every 2 days to then every 4, to then every week, to then every 2 weeks. So I kind of span it out if I'm not seeing engagement or the person's not posting so I can't engage with them anymore or whatever. I will push them out some more, okay? Now, let's say you start talking to someone, they're interested in your group, or they're interested in the business. You start talking, get into some details, and then all of a sudden they're gone, right? You send them the video, they don't answer. You send them the health assessment form, they don't fill it out, whatever, okay? Those people you don't ever drop. And when you follow up with them, this is the energy that I want you to follow up in. For whatever reason, that person felt inspired to ask you for information about what you're doing because they have a need in their life that is not being met. They either have a health need or they have a health need paired with a financial need that is currently not being met in their life. And you were the person that they decided to engage with in that conversation. Now, your health and your finances are two extremely vulnerable conversations. Very vulnerable conversations. If someone is opening up to you about a need in either one of those, consider yourself a fortunate individual to have gathered enough trust in a person to really start to talk about what's going on in their life. When you send an invitation to that person and you never follow up with them, you pretty much just showed them that you are not to be trusted and that you didn't actually want to help them. That's what you just showed them. When you continue to follow up with that person, the energy that I want you to hold is as follows. I am going to take a stand for you because I imagine this is what you're telling yourself about them. You're not necessarily communicating that. I'll tell you how to do that in a second, but this is the energy I want you to embody. I imagine there are not very many people in your life that are taking a stand for you. I imagine that you probably don't have many people in your corner that want to see you win. But I want to see you win. So I'm going to keep following up with you until I can help you meet the need that you've already told me you have. Because that's my job. My job is to follow up with you until you get what you want. Okay? Now, when you talk to them, be very transparent. And the third, fourth follow-up, the words that come out of my mouth, either in a voice message or written out, sound exactly as follows. Listen, Lynette. I know when we spoke, you said you really needed to join my group because of this, this, and this reason. Or I know when we spoke, you said you were really interested in the business and what I did because of this and this reason. Now, I want to take a stand for you and what you said you wanted. And I want you to know that I am here to support you in having the experience of reality that you want. So I am going to keep following up with you until you tell me to go fuck off or whatever. I use those words because that's my language. You don't have to use those words. Use your words, right? Until you literally tell me to go fuck off, I will continue to follow up with you because I want you to have what you want to have. Okay? I let them know just like that. And most of the time when they respond, it's like LOL, right? Because I just said something that's pretty funny and they're like, you know, thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for being so consistent. Thank you for helping me, you know, and holding space for me. I always get that feedback. I've never had someone say, how fucking dare you hold space for me? Don't you fucking dare believe in my dreams. No one's ever said that to me. As long as I've been doing this, I've never had someone be mad about that. On the contrary, I've had so many people thank me for continuing to follow up with them year after year and never losing them from my radar. Because no one does that. No one does that for other people in this day and age. In this day and age, we're about the quick gratification, the quick fix, and if you're not there, they just move on. But that's not what people who are in the long haul of a business do. And that's not what people who genuinely want to help other people do. That's not what we do. That's not how we operate. Right? So I want you to switch the tape in your mind of following up and saying, oh, I don't want to bother someone. That's a very disempowered position to take in your business, first of all. That's the energy of like victimhood. I want you to stand in your power, and I want you to stand in that power for them, for your prospect. I want you to take a stand for them. So when you are following up, understand that that's what you're doing. You are taking a stand for that person because you never know what that person's going through. You never know what they need. You never know how bad it is. You don't know. Your job is to hold space for those people by following up with them and making sure that when the time is right for them and when they get brave enough and when they finally read that one post that you post or they finally see that one story that you shared, okay, that gets them in the chin, they're like, I'm ready, because that hurt. They think of you because you were that consistent person in their life. You want to be that person for them. Okay? Yes, I do have a system. I actually use Teamzy. So Teamzy is a virtual CRM. It is not free. You get 30 days for free to try it. It is $29 a month. I pay for the yearly membership because it is worth it. It is the best client management service I've ever used. Tracks your prospects, tracks your coaches, tracks your customers, gives you your follow-up list. You can decide when you want to follow up with someone, set it on a schedule, and the following day, your whole follow-ups list is waiting for you, and you just like go right through them. You can leave yourself notes. You can, do all the stuff, put your client's email, put your client's birthday, put things you want to remember about them. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. When I started, I used a notepad. I used a notebook, okay? And I just used, like, in a notebook that was just for Beachbody, I would put the month, and then everybody that I was talking to, if the conversation got to Beachbody, I would start writing their names down. And then if they purchased something or if I invited them, I would highlight it, right? I would highlight it one color if I invited them, okay? And then when it was time to follow up with them, I just come back to the list. So obviously, as the month goes on, your list is going to grow. And then 2 days later, it's time to follow up. Go back to the front of the list and go through all the names that you highlighted, that you invited, right? You can use a notebook system too, but if you want to invest, Teamzy is the way to go. Hands down. Sable uses Teamzy as well, and she also loves it.
Yeah, I like it because it's digital. So like, yeah. I used to use the notebook too, but I would forget. Like, I wouldn't be as structured in the follow-ups, and then it would become like super overwhelming because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have talked to all these people, now I need to get back to all these people. So Teamzy, and like Shakti said, the more you're talking to people, like if you need to space them out, you can change the date. So like from 2 days to 4 days to a week to a month, you can adjust all of the timing of the follow-ups, and it triggers a reminder.
Yeah. Which is real nice. I love that feature about it. I got Teamzy for following up. That's why I got Teamzy, was for following up. And then I was like, oh, it does all this other stuff too. That's amazing.
Yeah, but it also exports reports. So you can put all of your clients' emails in it and then export all the emails if you want to send like a newsletter or MailChimp or something.
Yeah. And it gives you scripts for inviting as well. They have inviting scripts and they have follow-up scripts. They give them to you.
Specific to Beachbody, by the way.
Specific to Beachbody. Yeah, by the way. Yeah. So good. It's so good.
And I got emailed to take a survey for them, and they took $10 off a month.
Yep. They're really generous. I really love that company. They're great.
And they do trainings too, by the way. So
you what?
They do trainings too all the
time. Yeah, they do amazing trainings, boot camps and stuff like that. So this, to me, following up is, there's this little saying, the fortune is in the follow-up, and I have to tell you that I couldn't agree more with that. The fortune is absolutely in the follow-up. If you're just dishing out invites and you're not following up with your people, this business is a timing business. And I will say that time and time again. The people who think this business is about convincing people or coercing people to either join your team or join your challenge group, the reason they think that is because they don't understand that this business is all about timing. You have to be in someone's inbox at the right time in their life for them to say yes to you. And this is why prospecting and meeting new people becomes crucially important. Because if you're not consistently adding people to your network, if you're not consistently inviting new people, if you're not consistently following up with new people, you're going to miss the times for which it's good for people, okay? So your goal is Success Club 10, let's say, every single month. Statistically, 1 in 10 people will say yes to you, statistically speaking, of joining something that you're doing or participating, okay? I had a sign up yesterday from following up. She was busy and getting ready for vacation, but I asked and she was in. See? Exactly. That happens to me all the time. Oh, I'm buying a house. I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Signs up, right? So following up is critical. Critical. Okay? So get a system that works for you, but don't let that slip, because this is, honestly, cannot stress that enough. And then I totally forgot my train of thought previous to reading that comment, because it was a good comment. But I'm trying to remember now. I'm having an Ashley Molstad moment. She's like, completely forgot. I was like, I'm having that moment right now. Anyways, something about following up and the structure for following up. But trying to remember.
Must not have been important.
No, it was. That was about the inviting follow-up system. It was important. My brain is malfunctioning too. So I have a lot on my mind. Oh, timing. That's what I was talking about. Yes. This business is about timing. So you're going to invite, and it's not going to be a good time for a lot of people, but you're going to invite, and it will be a good time for a lot of people. But if you're only inviting the same 10 people over and over again, or the same 20 people over and over again, you're not going to get the right timing all of the time. You're going to miss Success Club month after month because you're hyper-focused on a small pool of people. Don't do that. I'm sending 60 to 70 invites a week. A week. New ones with a handful of follow-ups. What does that mean? That means that for sure, at some point in the month, I'm going to hit Success Club. For sure. Because that's a lot of new invites to be dishing out a week, right? So just know, take responsibility for your business. If your business is to hit Success Club, do the work to hit Success Club. That is completely in your control. It's not in your control whether they say yes or no. That's not in your control. But how many invites you send out and how many follow-ups you do, that's in your control. 100%, that's in your control. That's how you take control of your business. Anybody have questions on following up? Or something you've run into that you want clarified or something like that? Like Shell just asked about my system for following up. By the way, can we just give a damn shout out to Shell right now on this call, who is crushing her first week as a coach? Success Club 14, are you kidding me? That's like crazy amazing. What a way to come in like a boss and just completely like own her business. Congratulations. So proud.
She has like no idea what it means too. She's like,
I know. She's like, I don't know what it is. It's so much fun. It's so great. That's the best. She's just doing the thing. But she has been a discount coach for a long time. She's been in our team page for a long time. And I know Shell, she's watching the videos. She's attending the trainings. That's why she decided to work her business. I 100% believe that that's true. Because she was in there absorbing the information. And when she decided to apply it, she went ham. You know, she was like, oh, got it. Okay. And just did the thing. I was like, okay, do you need help setting up a group? She's like, no, figure that out. Watch the video. I know how to do that. Okay, do you need help setting a cart? She's like, no, watch that video. Figured it out. But that's the thing. It's like when you are resourceful and when you take ownership of your business, you just do it. You figure it out. I was exactly the same way. I was like, oh, here's a video for this. Here's a thing for this. Put it together. Boom. Like recipe. It's like cooking. You just take a little of this, take a little of that. Voila. Business. Well done. Any questions for us? Like something that you're getting stuck on, something that you don't understand? My hair is driving me crazy. Put it up. I'm not made for long hair. I swear. Anything that I'm missing, Sabe, about following up that's important?
I think we're good. I mean, honestly, it's the mindset of following up. Like changing the idea of you're bothering them to you really want to help them and you want to make sure that they saw the info. Like
you're serving them. Yeah. I will say this. I'll get people who message me back and they go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I haven't answered you. I don't mean to be flaky, life, blah, 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 whatever. And this is my response to them. No worries. It is my job to follow up with you about the thing you said you wanted. I literally say that to them. It is my job to follow up with you. It's perfectly fine that life happened and you forgot about the thing that I sent. I expect that. That's why I'm following up, right? And then they usually laugh and they're like, well, thank you, because it reminded me, and then they sign up, right? Or thank you, like, let me put this in my calendar to do tomorrow. Or people are usually super grateful that you remembered them and that you're circling back around. And I have to tell you, I was really bad at this for like the first 2.5 to 3 years of my business. I was worse at following up, honestly. Before I got Teamzy, I was really sloppy with my follow-ups. And I pay for Teamzy because to me, it's like I've got to live. I can't live without that. Like for me, my brain, I have ADD. I get distracted very easily. It makes my business run smoothly and easily. It's a huge asset to my business, okay? But do whatever works for you. But don't drop the follow-ups, because follow-ups are the second part of inviting. They're not separate from inviting. It is the second part of inviting. You're going to invite. Very few people are going to talk to you right after you invite. You're going to have to follow up some more. And when you're following up, commenting on people's stories counts as a follow-up. Commenting on people's comments and engaging with them, that counts as follow-up. Those are called touch points, okay? That's you touching them in some personal way so that you stay relevant in their news feed and they keep seeing your stuff, okay? So those are also follow-ups. Follow-ups are not just, hey, about that challenge pack I sent you, or hey, about that business you wanted to join. That's a follow-up too, but that's not the only way to follow up, right? Like touch points count as following up.
Also, don't forget, we're talking specifically tonight right now about like inviting, right, to purchase something from us or to become a coach, but don't forget to follow up with your current customers either.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to feel like they bought something from you or they joined you for this one challenge group and then they never hear from you again.
Yeah.
Right? We have new products launching all the time.
Yep.
New programs launching all the time. Your clients need different things from you as they evolve, right? And I'm not saying like, I have some customers who want to buy the product and go do the thing. And they want to buy more product when they want more product. And they don't want me to coach them. That's cool. I tend to check in with them very rarely, just a little bit more like, hey, this is me, I thought of you. Okay. But you're going to have other customers who are going to want your attention a little bit more. And so really just knowing like what your audience is needing from you. I have customers who have dropped certain products. I still check in with them. Hey, this product just launched, thought of you. We just launched pre and postnatal bar. I have a lot of expecting moms that were my clients before. Maybe they've kind of like stopped working out now because they're expecting, and I sent them all the links. I'm like, hey, this is already in your program packet. Thought of you. And they're already responding to like, oh my gosh, thank you. I had no idea because they don't follow up with me as much. So that's not their job. My job is to coach them, like, hey, I have this new thing for you. Hey, how can I help you here?
Yeah.
So keep that going too. It keeps your I don't know the word anymore, but it keeps you on the straight and narrow as like a coach, right? Like not just a one and done product seller. We're a
that's what makes us different than other companies, and that's what's really, Shell, you coming in from another company where you were a distributor, like that's what makes this work really, really different. Because our job really is post sale. Like the sales, like just the beginning of that relationship. Afterwards, it's like getting them to the group and helping them stay accountable and checking in with them. And so for me, I have a customer base that's like 700 at this point. It's huge. There's no way I'm sending personal touch points every single day on top of doing everything else that I'm doing to my customers. I have that Facebook group. I check in there all the time and I share things that are coming out in there. So all of my members that are in my Facebook group stay connected and have the option of staying connected that way. I also send email newsletters through Beachbody, through my Beachbody email. I will send out, right now it's been a monthly newsletter. I want to start making it more regular, but just kind of giving them value. Like for example, this last one I sent, I included my video of making that overnight oats that I filmed with Shakeology. I include the YouTube link to that video on top of promoting MBF. I was like, hey, by the way, here's this video of this awesome thing that I made. They can see my face. They can hear my voice. They can see me using a product that we have, and I linked the Shakeology sell page so that they could go find it if they really wanted to purchase some, right? So that's another way that you stay connected to your customers. Once you really start growing in volume with customers and you're like, okay, how am I going to do touch points with them? It's like giving them value by way of emailing them with the email that Beachbody has created for you. And if you have like on bod groups, I recommend having like an ongoing group that any of your clients can join at any time, where you, instead of opening a Facebook group, like start transitioning your groups to bod groups, because that is the app run by our company. And if you're growing your business on Instagram, no one has Facebook anymore who's on Instagram. They really don't. It's rare that you come across people who have both now. So just make sure you have like a neutral place where all of your clients can come together and participate in, and you can stay connected to them that way as well. So following up with your current customers is also really important, because they already purchased from you once, which means they're way more likely to purchase from you again, because they know, like, and trust you. So you definitely want to like really cultivate those relationships. Yes, like Facebook groups are cool, but the only reason I have one, to be honest with you, is because when I started as a coach 4.5 years ago, we didn't have bod groups. That didn't exist. The only way to run a group was on Facebook. And Instagram wasn't even a thing, okay? Instagram came on the scene really, like, once I was already a coach. I was like, oh, IG, right? So now that most of us are growing our business on Instagram and Facebook, and some of us on YouTube and some of us on different platforms, it's like, just make sure that you have a neutral place where all of your people can come together, and it's not just, one place. So, all right. Any other questions before we wrap this up? This is not a long training. It wasn't meant to be, but it was meant to be really insightful and helpful. Any other questions? Clarity you need on following up, why it matters, how to do it, things of that nature. I can actually probably share my TeamZ real quick so that people can see it. Please don't get scared when you see the follow-up number. I have been doing large invite numbers. So when you see a huge follow-up number, it's because I have been inviting a lot. And that's why. I just want to show you guys what the dashboard looks like and why we are such a fan of it, why it works so well for us. Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, so this is my TeamZ. So when you set it up in the settings section, it's going to ask you what is your income goal, and then it's going to make a recommendation on how many shares, those are invites, how many people to add to your network, how many coaches to check in with, customers to check in with, and prospects to check in with, depending on the income goal that you set. I do way more than these numbers. These are just recommendations that they give, okay? So here are my list of prospects, and here are my list of customers, and here are my list of coaches, and here are my list of follow-ups. Okay, and so it tells you exactly, it shows you your whole follow-up list, and then it also has daily things to check off that you're doing. So it's almost like a digital version of that business activity tracker. But so it shows you too, like, oh, here are the upcoming follow-ups, here are the ones that are kind of behind.
What's great too, though, is like when I talk to people, I copy the message and drop it into Teamsy, and then that way I have a digital record of what we've gone over, so I don't like forget and like sound like a broken record, like saying the same thing or recommending the same thing, or they ask for something and I recommend something different, but I can go back and check everything we've gone over.
Here is the community tab. I'm just trying to show you other things that they offer. There's a Teamsy community, so it's like a Facebook group that you can join. There's Teamsy University, so they have different courses. See, there's included with my subscription, I can watch all of these for free. Right? Like these are included with my subscription, and then these are some that you pay for. Trainings, transition to conversation like a pro, conversations that convert, achieve financial freedom now, master your time management, right? So they have a lot of really helpful resources for people who are in our industry. Oh, free trial. Here you go. I'm going to put this in the chat box. Y'all can go try this. Here you go.
I tried the free trial and like a week in, I was like, I'm just going to buy this.
All right, so where do we find new people? This is a question that I'm getting. That's like a whole other training. I included the link, by the way, in the comment box of it's on the showing up YouTube, the trial for Teamsy. So I find right now mostly on Instagram is where I'm growing my business. That seems to be where I'm having the most fun. So that's just like where I'm growing it. But I talk to people in person anywhere I go who ask me about what I do. I have a decal on my car now. So it's like people know, oh, you do this. Yes. At the hotel, the manager and the GM were there, and he was like, you're working every night. Like, I would go downstairs at 8 o'clock and sit in their business center and work for hours. And he's like, what do you do? Like, what are you, you're on vacation? I was like, yeah, but I own my own business and we're in the middle of like a big launch. So like, I'm working. And he's like, oh, tell me about what you do. Perfect opportunity to talk about Beachbody coaching. He was like, oh my God, I need to start working out. I should probably work out from home, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I talk in person, and I keep those people in my Teamsy as well. And if I get a contact point for them, like their phone number or email or something, I put that in there and I continue to touch base with them that way. But Instagram, usually hashtags that I'm like really enjoy right now are like hashtag plant-based nutrition or, plant-based weight loss, things of that nature, because I'm really into the plant-based movement. And so those tend to be hashtags that I search. And then I just go look for people who are posting under those hashtags, and I build relationships with those people. So that's typically where I am. There's a ton of Instagram training you can find online on YouTube, like so much of it. But that's where I've been finding a lot of my new peeps. Any other questions? I'm going to share that as well in our team page. Cool. Well, see, organization was not my forte either, Shell. I have had to learn that primarily from Sable and trial and error. So I have learned to become organized over time, but I was not organized when I began my business. So don't be discouraged by that. It comes with time. It does.
Yeah, and Shell, if you already know you're not organized, then that's even better because you can just find a system that organizes for you instead of thinking that you're an organized person, and really it just kind of slows you down. So
Yep.
knowing that is a good step.
Also, just as a reminder, our Coach Sneak Peek is next Thursday in the evening, 8:30 EST. I've already shared the link in our message thread. If you're in that message thread, I'm going to share the YouTube link in our team page so that everybody has it. It will be streamed on this YouTube channel. So on this very channel that you guys are watching is where it's going to be because this is our team channel. So you can easily share this link with anybody that you want to share it with. Again, just make sure that you have a conversation with them before you hand them over the link so you can write their name down and know who's watching and know who you're inviting, so that way you can follow up with them and continue that relationship. Okay, so that's part of having people give you their email or, you know, connect with you before you send them things of that nature, is that you want to make sure you can follow up with them. You just don't want to make sure your link is just out there and you have no idea who's watching it and you have no idea who's participating. That makes it difficult for you to follow up and build a relationship with people, right? So just a little tip. All right, darlings, I'm going to wrap up this training then. I hope that it was insightful and helpful, and I will see you. By the way, we do this training every single Wednesday night. So the Wednesday following that Coach Sneak Peek, we will actually do a Getting Started Right call. Meaning all the coaches or the prospects who attend that call will have to be signed up as a coach by that following Wednesday. So it gives them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday during the day, almost a full week to sign up as a coach with you so they can make sure to get in on that training, which we will stream just like we're doing this, so that they can have that set up to launch their business. Okay, so just as a reminder, put that in your books, start inviting to that, build a list of people that are going to attend, that are watching, so that you can then follow up with them. And Team Cup is an amazing month to do this, but it's also one of the fastest way to grow your team. If you have multiple people watching it at the same time, this puts the information in all of their hands simultaneously, and then all you continue to do is lead them to the point where they sign up and then get them started correctly, okay? So, have an amazing night. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week.